वो जो फॉर्मूला तय हुआ था उसके ऊपर अमल करें।
अब हमारा स्ट्राइक रेट ये 70% है, 70% है।
I'm very happy that the people have blessed me with so much margin.
महाराष्ट्र की जनता की तरफ से हमें अच्छा सहयोग मिला।
हरियाणा के लोगों का धन्यवाद करता हूं।
हरियाणा विधानसभा की चाबी बीजेपी के हाथ में।
जनता ने जो आशीर्वाद दिए हैं उनको भी बहुत बधाई देता हूं। आने वाले 5 वर्ष महाराष्ट्र के और हरियाणा के विकास की नई ऊंचाइयों को पार करने वाला कार्यकाल रहेगा।
Good evening and welcome. We're back looking at the analysis now of counting day today for Maharashtra and Haryana, and what a day it's been. We began this morning by saying or thinking that it would be a clean sweep for the BJP in both the states, but at the end of the day the picture is very, very different. Yes, the BJP is forming the government, Vasu, in Maharashtra, but it is not quite the thumping majority that they had hoped it would be, and it is a hung assembly in Haryana.
Absolutely. In fact, both those states are in play as far as who will be chief minister is concerned, because Nidhi, even though the BJP Shiv Sena coalition has won Maharashtra, Uddhav Thackeray has played this 50-50 googly, which many believe could mean that he's suggesting they rotate strike. And of course in Haryana, the BJP is the single largest party, but will ML Khattar return as Mukhyamantri with the support of perhaps others, smaller parties, or the JJP remains unclear. So in a sense, the states are still somewhat in play. But let's just take a look now at the results and the leads and then dive a little more into the graphics. And let's start with Maharashtra, because that is the big state that went to the polls. And look at that, the BJP Shiv Sena is actually down 26, the Congress and NCP is up 20 by 17. But the real story lies in the individual performances of both parties, and if we break that up, then we get a sense of what exactly has happened in this election, where the BJP has actually underperformed and the Congress has underperformed. So in a sense, the big brothers of this particular election, the coalition, it is they who have underperformed. So the BJP is actually down 19, Shiv Sena also down, but just down 7. And then of course,
the Congress NCP.
The Congress NCP. This is a stunning, this is the Pawar comeback in a sense. The NCP is at 54, almost the same level as the Shiv Sena.
Just a couple of seats behind the Shiv Sena. Yeah.
Congress only gaining 2. And this, Nidhi, is now the results picture, because of now I believe that almost most of the seats are reporting results. 244 actually.
So we have most of the results in now.
So 139 results for the BJP, Shiv Sena, Congress, NCP 83, and the others.
In fact, the
22.
BJP was hoping it would form the government on its own in Maharashtra. So
yes, how far away that seems.
And that was just what they had hoped it would be, a 145 on their own. That's clearly not the way it's gone. Do you want to move to Haryana?
Yes, let's
look at the overall Haryana graphics.
Let's have a look at the Haryana. Why don't you take us through that?
That was the real surprise today, apart from what happened in Maharashtra, where quite an underwhelming victory for the BJP in Maharashtra. But in Haryana, a hung assembly, which only the Axis exit poll actually called out correctly. But that's the picture on your screens there, Vasu. The BJP down to 40. They need 6 more to form the government there. So as you said, hectic talks already underway. The Congress at 31, surprising everyone, including itself. And then you have the JJP, Dushyant Chautala's party, that's emerged as a
yes,
kingmaker.
And as we heard him say, he said कि हरियाणा की चाबी हमारे हाथ में है. But it's also in the heart of all those independents and others. And as many have said, what a good time to be an other in Haryana.
So almost all the Haryana results are out.
All the Haryana results.
You just have one more seat to go. We don't even need to look at the leads anymore.
So that is actually where it's now solidified. It's solidified at the BJP 39, Congress 31. It could just change by 1 seat.
Yeah.
So it does put the BJP much more within striking distance of being able to form the government in Haryana. Let's get into the vote shares now in Dorab. If you could just decode for us the vote shares, because that's actually in a sense that tells you the story of what has happened.
You know,
This is the picture in Maharashtra.
if you look at the last two Lok Sabha elections, the last two Vidhan Sabha elections, the BJP has underperformed all the other three. It's about 5% lower than what it was in the Lok Sabha, and it's 4% lower than what it was in the earlier Vidhan Sabha and the earlier Lok Sabha. It is worst performance in the last 4 elections.
Right. And then if you look at the Congress, NCP, they're also down.
But the vote share is up.
Yeah.
The vote share is up. It's 35% compared to 2019.
Lok Sabha.
Same as 2014 Vidhan Sabha. And
okay.
So if you look at last 4 elections, this is the peak performance. It was the same as in 2014 Vidhan Sabha also. They closed 34.5, 35.2, 31.8. They sank in the 2019 Lok Sabha back to 35.2. This is not the full result. We only got what we got.
And the other factor, of course, in Maharashtra is the VBA, Prakash Ambedkar's party, Dorab. So at 4% vote share, that's clearly had its own role to play.
In 2 seats, yes. Yes, absolutely. You know, but Mr. Ambedkar wanted 100 seats from people, you know. I mean, he also is an extremely ambitious gentleman. Now with 2 seats, he'll find out.
This time as well.
Sorry?
You know, he was a spoiler in the Lok Sabha polls.
But he wants somebody to buy him out, for God's sake.
Earlier opened his account. This time he's been a spoiler.
But he wants someone to buy him out.
Well.
And
do you want to look
winning,
at the region-wise breakup in Maharashtra?
Yeah, let's now get into Maharashtra regions, and that actually will give you an idea of, again, the story within the story of these elections, because preliminary, what I was looking at, it was really some 2 key regions which have really set the BJP Sena back. In the Konkan Dorab, which is the BJP Sena stronghold, they've actually improved their position.
Because the Congress, NCP, this is the Congress that often fights there in Konkan.
Yes.
And the Congress is the weaker party.
Right, so that's actually good for the BJP Sena. Let's look at Marathwada next, where I think this is now again a region where the BJP Sena have actually made a gain.
It's also Ashok Chavan's area, so you know it is not that they're absent.
Mumbai is again, this has been BJP Sena dominated, and they're just down 1. So they're pretty much either gaining or holding so far. But this is now the regions where they start to lose. So North Maharashtra, the Khandesh region, Dorab, they're down 3.
That's why Eknath Khat says people stand. Yes, you know, but it's a tribal area.
Bastion,
So, but the Vidarbha, I presume, is the worst.
Vidarbha and Western Maharashtra, this is where the big damage has happened.
I mean, this is going to hit Mr. Fadnavis because 16 seats down.
That's a huge number.
It's 1/3 down, 49 to 33.
Yeah.
It's really bad news for him.
That's the Chief Minister's home area. And again in the west.
Again,
look
Mr.
at that.
Pawar,
Big
Mr.
gains
Pawar's
for
there.
Sharad Pawar
Mr.
there.
Pawar.
There's Mr. Pawar's area.
So that's again where the Congress and NCP have gained, and the BJP Sena, despite importing, by the way, so many of these Maratha leaders, virtually, cleaning out entire districts, they've still lost ground there.
Yeah.
Just let's go across to Niranjan Shetty of the BJP in Maharashtra, who joins us from Mumbai. Mr. Shetty, now that the full picture has emerged, are you disappointed with, the underwhelming performance? The BJP expected more. Also, you're going to be at the mercy of the Shiv Sena much more, which is already, showing its teeth.
Of course, I wouldn't deny that our expectations was much more, and we anticipated that we would get a good majority and form the government with a thumping, of course, we were not that much complacent. What you want me to say, but of course, but I don't think so that that the Sena would have an upper hand or something. See, we have already we are into alliance, and we have an understanding amongst the Chief Minister of Maharashtra as well as the Shiv Sena's Karyaध्यksha Mr. Sri Uddhav Thackeray ji.
No, but Niranjan Shetty, Uddhav Thackeray said, 50-50 formula. That means some kind of power sharing, rotating chief ministership.
I think I am not in the capacity to comment what has been discussed among the Honorable CM and the Executive President of the Shiv Sena. Had I known, I would have spoken, but presently I am not aware of what exactly was being done. I think the CM of the state is the proper person, or the state president would be in a right position to brief you exactly what is the formula about.
I see. But would you be open to it if they insist on it?
I think today, if you must have seen the press conference of the Honorable CM, he spoke that everything has been decided as it was decided, the pre-alliance as it has been decided after pre-poll alliance, and everything has been decided. That is what the Honorable CM is on record.
I see. Okay.
All right. Well, just sort of let's get an overview here. Rees, just your takeaway now that you've had time to study how this result has panned out all day. Why do you think the result has gone the way that it has in Maharashtra? Because the BJP was really confident it would come back on its own.
Well, I think the large picture is that these elections show that state and local issues matter, and that a party that will campaign solely on national issues, disconnected from state realities, will get punished, will suffer from it. And this is what the BJP has done. They've almost exclusively campaigned on national issues. They have reduced their regional leaders, including chief ministers, to basically the role of national spokespersons. And they are facing the brunt of it. Maharashtra is very interesting because one voter out of 4 has opted for another party than the 4 major parties, which is a very high proportion, which is also an indication that local issues and therefore local parties are still alive. There are 11 parties other than the 4 major parties that will get representation.
Right. That's actually a good point, that the tail is very long in Maharashtra. You have a number of smaller parties, including the BSP, which is got a couple of
including the BSP
leads. The MNS, I think, is there. MIM is there.
And the VBA of
VBA is there.
Ambedkar.
Yeah.
Does actually 8,500 votes in 110 seats where it is what it reaches third or more. So it is significant. It's a lot of votes.
I think almost 11 to 12 independents, who are many of them who are rebels. BJP Sena rebels.
13
of them totally.
I think BSP is now over. Doesn't got any seat.
Oh, BSP is now out of the picture.
Amitabh Dubey is with us, and Amitabh, again, the Congress is pleased by and large with how things have gone today in both states, considering how everyone had written the Congress off and the very poorly run campaign in Maharashtra in particular. Having said that, even though you've not been completely decimated in Maharashtra, you are at number 4. The party used to be, the party that ruled the state once upon a time. It's not the best position to be in. Are there lessons you think that the Congress needs to take away from, say, the way the NCP ran this campaign and the way it fought this election, and sort of learn from that going ahead?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that the NCP had a little more energy going into this campaign than the Congress. Everyone has observed Mr. Pawar's campaigning, for instance. But there are a couple of contextual points. One is that when we look at the breakdown regionally, it's clear that Mumbai was a huge drag, and the Congress is overrepresented in Mumbai, and we know what the issues in the Mumbai unit were. So that's one factor. The other is that if you look at the 2004 and 2009 state elections, the NCP always had a higher strike rate than the Congress. And part of the reason is that the NCP's vote share is a little more concentrated, the Congress is a little more diffuse, both geographically and socially. So these things make a difference. But that said, it's very clear that the Congress could have had more energy and fewer public disputes between the leaderships would have been desirable. And I just want to point out that the Congress-NCP alliance is about 25 seats short of the halfway mark. And that is, that could have been bridged with a better effort. And also the VBA seems to have cut into quite a number of those seats. So it was partly the MNS phenomenon, now a similar phenomenon hurting the Congress-NCP alliance. Right. So I think the frustrating thing is that victory could have been within reach, but was foiled by some of these leadership issues that we all know about.
25, you're together just about 100. So
Yes.
that's
105, I think.
40 behind.
Oh, sorry. I
44 was
thought,
halfway
oh,
mark.
right. My mistake. So
it's actually
further down.
Anyway,
Okay.
it doesn't matter. Sameer Dalwai of the NCP is with us. Sameer Dalwai, the NCP is still trying to give the impression that this entire question of who is going to be CM, what kind of government is going to be formed in Maharashtra is still in play, dropping hints that they're talking to the Shiv Sena and they're amenable to the idea of a Shiv Sena chief minister, which the Congress and NCP will back.
Nobody has said that. But while the government is still not being formed, the possibilities will obviously be discussed by all of us on the channels and in the media and in the political circles. A couple of points that I'd like to.
But are you saying that would you be open to it though? I mean, this is the Shiv Sena we're talking about.
Yeah, I can't comment on that. I don't think so. What I'd like to say is, elections and politics is all about perspective. And as somebody made a point on your channel, this is the first time after 3 elections that the BJP has hit a roadblock of reality. And we made this point on your channel 3 days back that the issues in this election will be the local issues, whereas BJP made a mistake of completely subverting the local issues because they had nothing to talk about except their failures.
Right.
And the issues that were imported did not cut ice.
Okay.
The other point I'd like to make is about, of course, our victories because of the one and only Mr. Sharad Pawar. But I'd like to mention that the support that he got was not just a sympathy wave. It was the coalition or the coalescence of the anger of the people against the poor governance of the last 5 years,
right,
which rallied around the figure of Mr. Pawar as the most experienced person who the people of Maharashtra know has led Maharashtra at least 4 times in the past.
Right. Okay.
Manish Tiwari joining us this evening, former Union Minister, Lok Sabha MP of the Congress Party. Manish, your thoughts on how this is all panned out for the Congress. Do you think, let's take Haryana first, that the right decision was taken about Mr. Huda and Kumari Selja, but too late? Was this something that needed to have been done 6 months ago, as Ghulam Nabi Azad admitted earlier today? Beginning with Haryana.
Well, Nidhi, you're right, because Mr. Huda and Selja have been able to deliver a performance which, if not spectacular, is definitely a much better performance than what the prophets of doom were predicting over the last week or 10 days or even 15 days. And for the BJP, undoubtedly, it's a Pyrrhic victory. But there is a certain sense of disappointment as far as we are concerned. I have no hesitation in admitting that we could have done better. We possibly did not gauge the amount of anger and disenchantment which was there in the people. And if we could have got a measure of that a little earlier, I am sure that both in Maharashtra and in Haryana, we could have definitely done much better.
But then who would you blame, Manish Tiwari, for the fact that you couldn't gauge the public mood? I mean, somewhere doesn't the buck stop with your leadership?
Well, I think, Srinivasan, the buck stops with all of us.
Okay.
We went through a catharsis after the Lok Sabha elections, and so therefore there was vital time which was lost right after the Lok Sabha elections, and therefore we were late starters, and that undoubtedly is something which we could have maybe done without. But notwithstanding that, the one thing which this election demonstrates is that when it comes to Vidhan Sabha elections, people care about bread and butter issues, and this very muscular nationalism which the BJP was trying to play in both Maharashtra and Haryana did not go down well with the people. And if you take a broader sweep, and if you look at Punjab, we have won 3 out of 4 seats, 2 against the BJP. We have done well in Kerala. We have done well in Rajasthan.
Right.
We've done well in Madhya Pradesh.
Yeah.
So therefore, if you look at it as a broader pan-India trend, it's obvious that the disenchantment with the BJP, is something which has sunk in, and I think the economy is biting.
Okay.
All right. We have Supriya Sule of the NCP joining us now as well. Supriya, congratulations to you. It's been quite a day for the NCP, for you, for your father, Sharad Pawar. Did you expect to be neck and neck with the Shiv Sena when with the final tally? You're just just a couple of seats behind them. That's quite a performance.
Yeah, it's quite a performance, and I'm eternally grateful, and I have only gratitude in my heart and mind towards the people of Maharashtra when we were fighting one of the toughest battles, and with all the news that was going around was completely against us. And I think it's a battle well fought by the entire Congress and the NCP.
But Supriya, the fact is that, you know, the BJP still has won. You fought a good fight, but let's not forget that the BJP has still won. So somewhere along the line, where would you say that perhaps you also went wrong with your campaign? Could you have done better as a coalition? Could you have done better as a political party with taking on the BJP and the Shiv Sena?
No. Yeah, but you know, there was a trend in this country that the BJP is invincible. And the kind of data they are throwing at people of performance or their own performance, and the way they went after or decimating and just taking people away, our MLAs from Congress and the BJP and the Congress and NCP simultaneously at the same time. So the problem was the morale and the whole mood, if you asked me about 2 months ago or 3 months ago, was really low, because the cadre saw prominent leaders just being picked up from both Congress and NCP. So the whole thing was to, break us and then win a state. Like Vasu, I'll tell you, if you look at the 150-60 seats that the BJP fought, 70 were outsiders, were their candidates. So they had really imported a hell of a lot of people to win this battle. And after importing so many people, no budget election, and the favorite word of Devendra Fadnavis ji is Sama Dama Danda Bhet. We'll do everything, muscle, money, we will do everything, pull all stops. And this is his being quote. I'm not fabricating anything. This is him on record.
Okay.
And but with this kind of odd, I think it was a challenging election. And
Sorry. Just to say that, do you feel though that that the Congress, as your ally, disappointed you? That, honestly, if they had put in a real effort without all the sort of Twitter fights and everything else, that you could have done so much better. You've crossed 100, which really nobody expected.
Yeah, no, I don't think. I think everybody is really being hard on the Congress. The Congress also put up a great fight. And let me be very, very honest. I think we've been in an 18-year relationship with the Congress. This is probably the most golden period. Yes, they may have had some internal issues, but then I even blame their local leaders who really did not need to talk out of turn, especially to the media. If you have a problem, internally solve it. But I would not blame the Congress party for it at all. And I think we had a great coordination plan throughout.
Okay. Well, Supriya, tell us about your father, because in some ways he is the comeback man of this election for the NCP, right? And we just had those visuals of him, those iconic visuals of him campaigning in Satara in the rain. What sort of fired him up towards the end? Was it the fact also that these cases were put on him, just before the elections?
Listen, he's a born warrior. He loves it. And he always leads from the front. See his book, he leads his life on his terms. He's fought everybody. I mean, think about it. Look at his whole career that he's been. So for me, it's nothing new. It's just that there's more technology and more television now. He's behaved exactly like this in his 6 decades of his career. So it's nothing new.
Yeah, but still, I mean, for him at the age of 79, Supriya, to be standing there soaking wet in the rain, campaigning, I mean, those pictures went viral and so many people commented that, frankly, other opposition parties and their young Turks, for want of a better term, can take a lesson from that. I mean, is there a lesson that the rest of the opposition can learn?
I don't think it's about opposition. I think it's generally, I don't think it's fair for me to judge somebody else like this. But clearly, I mean, from where I look at it or from our cadre, I can speak for all of us, that we feel highly motivated because there was everything going against us. People were leaving us. Nothing in the media was been well written about us. ED cases were, fake ED cases were thrown on our leaders. So we were really, they were trying to trap us. And then this man got up and said, enough is enough, I am going to the people. And he just went to people, that's all he did. He was a man on the move. He probably didn't come home for weeks, So he just fought a battle straight leading from the front. He didn't wait who's coming with me, who's not coming with me,
Supriya, just one thing. On.
Okay, and people came along, eternally grateful.
Supriya, one thing I want to ask you is that there has been this talk going around Bombay that the NCP Congress is not averse to supporting the Shiv Sena, and it can be a Shiv Sena chief minister. Is this true?
Well, you know how it is. There's always gossip floating around. There are innovative ideas, innovation being done by people, more in the media, more in us. But I think let's wait for complete clarity. We accept the mandate of what the people have given us, and we are committed to building a great team of the NCP in the next 5 years and serving the people as a very, very focused opposition.
You're not denying...
Not just as critics, but even as to serve for them.
No denial there.
You're not denying this possibility.
No, to be honest, Mr. Pawar has already clarified. No. Srinivas, Mr. Pawar has already clarified his stand at 5 o'clock, and when the boss has said it, I have no view or nobody's even asked me about it.
Okay, what did he? I'm not quite sure what he said.
Can you re-clarify what the stand is? Sorry. Supriya?
No, what he said was that the alliance is about the Congress and the NCP, and all the allies, we've got a mandate like this, and we would sit in the opposition and serve the people, is what he said in his press conference.
Okay, last quick question. Was that victory in Satara, was that the sweetest victory? Defeating Udyan Raje Bhonsle, who's your MP who just crossed over to the BJP?
No, I think my sweetest victory was my little nephew winning. I think that's far more emotional for me. I don't get pleasure in other people losing. I feel I'm happy when our people perform. So I'm a content human being about these things.
Okay.
All right, Supriya.
And I'm not vindictive.
All right, Supriya Sule, thanks very much for that. Manish, you were listening to what Supriya was saying there. She was very kind in not sort of attacking or criticizing the Congress for the way it did in Maharashtra. But can I ask you, shifting to Maharashtra specifically, and the way the Congress campaign played out there, again, terrible infighting, factionalism, all of it was on display. What are the lessons that you think the party needs to walk away with from Maharashtra? You surely can't be happy at being number 4.
Well, first of all, Nidhi, you need to keep in mind that while it is an incontrovertible fact that Mr. Sharad Pawar campaigned all across Maharashtra, but our leaders also, campaigned in their respective areas. Most of them retained their own seats. And as Supriya was correctly pointing out, it was an extremely devious fight because the Congress-NCP alliance had everything thrown at it. So therefore, it became important for people, to fight on their own seats and retain them. So therefore, if you were to really break it down, it wasn't as if the Congress was not fighting. But yes, maybe the Congress leadership in Maharashtra did not campaign across the state as Mr. Pawar did. But that does not take away from the fact that they fought a good battle.
Right. But very quickly, Manish.
And yes,
You say that your leaders also campaign.
And yes, I take your point.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead. Finish your point.
Go ahead, Manish.
I take your point that we could have done without that public display of verbosity that we saw both in Maharashtra and Haryana. It has a demoralizing impact on the cadre, and we definitely could have done without that. If some people had problems, they could have articulated them internally.
Well, only Manish Tiwari can say public display of verbosity in the way that he does.
Right.
But we need to break in, yeah.
Yes. So let's just go straight across to our colleague Sunil Prabhu, who's actually with another one of the surprise performers in this election, Bhupender Singh Hooda. Sunil.
Thanks, Srinivasan. In fact, I'm joined by somebody who tried to do a last-minute change and improve the Congress's performance. And I recall meeting you in Rohtak 2-3 days ago, just before the voting, and you said if you had been given time, you would have been able to perform better. You feel somewhere down the line, Rahul Gandhi made a mistake of not giving you enough of time to take over, and finally Mrs. Gandhi had to do it?
Then that I don't say that anybody has.
Because the Congress party has lost out, you were 31.
That was for party to decide. Anyhow, this decision is a bit delayed. But it is better to be late than never. The decision was taken and the party has performed very well as compared to 2014. So let's hope for the best. Because mandate given by people of Haryana is against the state government. So those who got the mandate against the state government, all parties should join together to form a stable and good government. So whether it is Congress, whether it is JJP, whether it is INLD, or whether it is any other party or independents, they should join together. That's why I feel that was the proper to respect the mandate given by the people of Haryana.
You made a call for secular coalition. Even Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad, Seljaji has also said that. But somehow that has not taken off. Mr. Amit Shah and Narendra Modi have been able to get the independence. They're flying to Delhi and ready to get the numbers.
That is for their party. But this is what I feel. The mandate should be respected.
So do you still believe you'll have a chance? Will you try to stake claim to with the governor?
Let us see how the events take place.
Have you had a talk with the JJP, Mr. Dushyant Chautala, because you have a close relationship with him, across party lines. Is there any chance of him looking at a possibility?
In the morning, I said they should have come forward. So let's see.
Are you giving up hope, or you still say, when you say let's see, means you're not as confident as Mr. Narendra Modi and Mr. Amit Shah when they say they're going to form a government, even despite the fact that the mandate, as you say, is against them?
They are saying on the basis of that the single largest is BJP. But that is not there. I have not lost the hope. But see, I'm a practical man. So I wait for events. Let's see. Sometime events take place which you don't expect.
So here you have it, Mr. Hooda, very clearly confident. He's not lost hope, as he says.
Sunil,
they will definitely be working on this exercise.
Sunil,
we'll have to wait and see Srinivasan one way or the other. Whether
Sunil,
the Congress does have a chance, but definitely Mr. Hooda is the man of the moment. He has been able to resurrect the Congress in Haryana. And one final word, sir, on your Mr. Ashok Tanwar, because we've been hearing a little bit about him today a lot, but somewhere down the line he seems to have not had a lot of grassroots support, even though being there for 5 years at the helm of affairs in the party. Do you want to give him a piece of advice today?
The person who has resigned from the party, so I don't think I should react on that.
So here you have it. That's Mr. Hooda, who's still not giving up hope. We'll have to wait and see what happens for the Congress party. Does it still have a chance? Will it be able to form a secular coalition? Will it get the JJP? Will it get the independents? There are a lot of ifs. It's extremely difficult in the given circumstances, but they are not giving up hope.
Sunil, can you hear us? We just had a quick question we wanted to ask Mr. Hooda through you. My question was that does Mr. Hooda see this election performance of the Congress, also paired with some other states in the recent past, as the Congress's old guard essentially emerging stronger in the party versus the young guard, the Team Rahul, as it were?
Nidhi is asking a question about the old guard, the fact that this election really meant the resurrection of the old guard, versus Rahul Gandhi and the other team. So how do you respond to that? The fact that you've been able to help the Congress party restore itself, it's going back to its roots.
There's no question of old guard or young guard. The party is one. Party, young people are there and old people are there. All that.
But somewhere down the line, you don't feel the fact that Mrs. Gandhi, because you have been very comfortable with Mrs. Gandhi. For the 10 years that you were Chief Minister, you had a good rapport with her, you were able to manage. There have been problems with you and Mr. Rahul Gandhi. In fact, you even avoided that rally that day when he came in place of his mother in Mehndgar. So somewhere down the line, is there been some friction and the fact that you were far more comfortable with the old guard when, Nidhi says people like Mr. Ahmed Patel and others rather than Mr. Rahul Gandhi's young boys?
Rahul Gandhi, he is a Congress president, he is a Congress leader. So I am comfortable with him, I have no problem with him.
And you don't believe the fact that Mrs. Gandhi has now become the president will help, has helped you far better than what it was earlier?
Every Congress president has helped a party to resurrect.
So, Nidhi, you can see Mr. Huda's being extremely diplomatic, but you have to read between the lines. There's definitely been
now I'm
far
going to attempt
greater
to ask you a question.
comfort with Mr. Huda and Mrs. Gandhi, and definitely that answers your question to a great extent.
Sunil, if I can just ask you a question as well to Mr. Huda through you, that is Mr. Huda, is the Congress prepared to offer Dushyant Chautala Deputy Chief Ministership in exchange for support?
The important question is, are you ready to give Mr. Dushyant Chautala the offer of Chief Ministership?
Deputy Chief
That is for
Ministership.
party to decide. See, our is the biggest party amongst the opposition. So that is for party to decide. I don't know. We have not talked anything. But let them first all come and decide to form a coalition, to form the government.
You're open to a Karnataka kind of model, because everybody.
No, that's not the question. The question is, our aim is not only to form the government. Our aim is to respect the mandate given by the people.
But also to give a stable government. So, will a stable government be with a person with 10 MLAs, or will it be with 31 MLAs?
These are hypothetical questions.
But you're open to the whole idea. Let them be a discussion.
There is no question of opening or closing. That we will sit. Let the offer come.
Being asked to give up chief ministership, which was never the question in the first place.
Hypothetical questions I don't answer.
But chief ministership, you're ready to give up in case in such a scenario.
That party has to decide.
So here you have it. The party has to decide. It's definitely a lot of negotiations at this stage, and they would like to have discussions before they come to some finality.
The legitimate right being done.
So you are saying that Congress does have a legitimate right to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, now he has answered the question.
And what we have been told by our sources from Congress leaders is that they are not very happy with the Karnataka model. So it's not going to be easy. Anyway, whatever decision has to be taken, this is something that the Congress will have to contemplate and study to a great deal.
Well, that's why Mr. Huda is the veteran politician that he is, because no door is open and no door is closed.
And also because I was asking, is he ready to offer deputy chief ministership, not chief ministership? Obviously, he's not going to offer.
He gave a very hurt expression at the end to that. But Mr. Prateek Som of the JJP is here. Prateek ji, ye bataiye ki what is the can you tell us what's going on with the JJP?
Have you been
a lot
approached?
of your supporters are saying कि ये BJP के खिलाफ verdict है. We can't go with BJP. तो फिर इस हालात में JJP क्या करेगी?
See, of course, we have been approached, but there is
by both sides.
Yes. Okay. We are in talks with both sides. But tomorrow at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, the general body meeting is going to happen in Delhi, and they will decide the future course of action. But one thing, Srinivas, I want to tell that today's verdict has proved that it's a total decimation of politics of arrogance. Why I say this? 10 months back, when this party JJP was formed, we were tagged that this is a Vanar Sena, this is a bunch of youngsters with no money, muscle power, no jhanda, no danda. This party is not going to do anything, and it's going to be a vote spoiler. Today, we have proved our mettle. Other thing, entire cabinet is washed. Haryana cabinet, except Mr. Anil Vijan CM, and 4 sitting ministers have lost to JJP. Their state president have lost to JJP, and we have claimed 27% vote share.
No, that's all quite impressive, but we are still on the point of what is in your mind about what is going to happen, because one rumor or report doing the round was that BJP has done a deal with you. Is that
no?
True?
That is not true. I can give an official statement on this. That there is no deal, there is no confirmed offer, and we are in talks. But it will be clear by tomorrow 2 o'clock.
But do you have a lesser evil?
Yeah, choice is among the lesser evil.
Yes. So who is the lesser evil for you?
That is to be decided by the board tomorrow.
You don't already know who the lesser evil is.
No door is closed. No door is open.
That core committee is going to decide tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
BJP and Congress are both here. You want to try to
Vivek Reddy, do you want
make a pitch for who's the lesser
Haryana
evil?
politics, do you want to jump in?
Well, I think if a decision has to be made, it has to be made on the basis of mandate. If they are willing to offer a support, I guess they should offer it to the party that has got the best mandate in the circumstances, which is nearest to the majority. I think that makes sense, that is reasonable, and that is how democracy works. And
Not true.
How's that?
They can offer it to the
well,
Congress.
the problem with Congress is this. The problem with Congress is this: that even if they join with Congress, as a combination with the Congress, I don't think they still have that majority. So it is a hodgepodge of a number of parties. So if you go by Dorab's formula, that you are looking at what is stable, which is the index, then I think a hodgepodge arrangement is worse than a two-party arrangement.
Dorab?
You know, there can be hodgepodges that are stable and two parties that can be stable. He's making a value judgment. I don't have enough information to make a value judgment. But I think both sides, you want a stable government. If you can form it with a hodgepodge, fine. If you can form two parties, that's fine too.
See, the inference can be made out that the hodgepodge can be independents as well. So maybe they're looking for one party. So there'll be a clarity that two parties are going to rule rather than 6 independents and with a history of like Mr. Gopal Kanda and other people who have won, maybe by 200 votes. So I think it is going to be a messy affair.
So my hunch is that Dushyant will go with the BJP.
See, Dushyant is coming to Delhi. He is on his way.
My hunch is he'll go with, simply because the party at the centre has much more to offer.
Yeah.
See, in terms of whatever is on the table.
But Mr. Deshrathan Nigam, just your thoughts on.
But that's before that. This is a picture of the independent MLAs who are on a chartered flight on their way to Delhi. One of them.
That's a BJP MP Sunita Diggal, along with Mr. Gopal Kanda and Mr. Ranjit Singh. These are the 2 MLAs, and Sunita Diggal is the current MP.
Oh, I see. So the BJP MP is escorting these 2 independent MLAs on her own chartered plane to Delhi. Vivek Reddy, what is
the BJP MP?
The Sunita Diggal.
Vivek Reddy, please respond to this, because I'm not sure if you are aware of Gopal Kanda. Are you aware of his background? This gentleman has a very, very dubious record.
Past,
You are flying him to Delhi on a chartered flight. Is this now what the BJP is prepared to do to form a government?
Well, it is the numbers that matter at this stage.
Not the people.
And
not ethics, not morality.
And so long as Vasu, long as even if Mr. Gopal Kanda supports our government or supports BJP,
yes,
so long as we can ensure that we can keep those influences, dubious influences away because of the BJP. And the sort of politics,
you're taking his support.
The sort of politics that the BJP is today accomplishing in India, I don't think these influences will have any impact. Number one.
But you are taking his support. When you say influences, what does that mean?
The second is, I don't think any of these MLAs are being dragged to Delhi. They are coming voluntarily also. So it is
voluntarily on a BJP MP's private jet.
If they intend to support the BJP, having regard to the future of Haryana, having regard to the good of Haryana, why not?
You know, in 2002 also, I said to Pranav in this that there is only one party in this country, the Indian National Congress. Indian National Congress did everything wrong, and soon they are following defections. Mr. Nigam was complaining this morning. You get so many defectors, what happens? Morality doesn't matter. What matters is power. Let's be honest. Why are we beating about the bush? That's what surprises me.
It's not that.
Because you raised that point.
Dorab, the issue is this.
What about Narayan Rane? You called him the epitome of corruption.
The issue.
Let's get Deshrathan Nigam. He's not had a chance. Deshrathan Nigam, would you at least, Gopal Kanda, where does one draw the line?
See, there are 4 rebel MLAs who have won out of these 8 and which were in BJP. So their natural choice would be BJP.
That's fine.
Right. So they would be somewhere about 44. and getting one person from here and there will not be a very difficult thing. And government formation.
No, that is not the question. The question is on people like Gopal Kanda with his record.
See, the fact is, as I told you, I am not going to give a value judgment. Reason being, he's been duly elected. And
what does that mean?
What does that
mean?
Elected.
What does that mean? If I'm a murderer, I get elected, it's fine?
No, you can't be elected, if you're a murderer. You may be accused of murder.
Yes. We have no problem with that.
This is the BJP laundry service. So you join the BJP and you get laundered of all the charges.
See, the fact is, he may have a dubious character, but the fact is, has he been convicted?
Come on, Deshrathan Nigam. Is this
charges are very serious?
When you talk about the Congress and corruption, how many of those people have been convicted?
No, the fact is, the same logic applies to BJP.
Sir, are
yes,
you
you
aware
should.
of the
In
fact
fact,
good
you
party.
may.
He
Can
was-
can
he was
I answer?
absconding.
But
Can
you're
I
supposed to be the
answer?
party with the difference. That's why
Can I
this
answer?
question is
No,
coming
you-
up. But
you-
clearly, if
you-
you're
you-
accepting, you're
can
not,
I
then that's fine.
answer?
You must be
You
aware
may-
of the fact that he
please
was
write down-
absconding from the court of law
Write
for a
down-
long period of time.
Write down your questions. I can answer all at one by one. You know,
There's no need-
interruption means I break my thought process.
All right.
See, let me tell you, a party which has increased its vote share from 2014, both in Maharashtra, popular votes, and in Haryana, which means.
But it's drastically down from the Lok Sabha vote
Lok
share.
Sabha, I will not compare. I'll compare apple with apples only.
Why?
Therefore, obviously.
Because if it had gone well, you
No,
would have
the
compared the apples
issues
with
are different
oranges.
out there.
They're not. Durab disagrees
Look
with
at last
you.
time's apples. Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha, 1% difference. This
Fine,
difference this
fine,
time is the
fine.
highest in history, I think.
Fine.
In any
Let me
post
answer.
election.
Let me-
20% down vote. I don't know, half the seats gone.
Let me answer. 2014, Maharashtra BJP had 27.8%, and now they have 35.2%.
Alliance, please. I'm
No,
talking
I'm
of Haryana.
individually. I'm talking, otherwise it is 44-45%.
Right.
So individually, popular vote share of BJP is increasing. The number of seats have not increased, which means there is something wrong in this strategy.
All right, we're going to
popular
hold
vote
that
share
thought
hasn't
till
gone up. I'm
till the
sorry.
top of the hour.
Yeah,
We
but
have to
before
take a
that,
break.
Deshath, that was still not the question, though.
Yeah.
The question was on Gopal Kanda. I don't know how from that one goes to the BJP's vote share. I don't understand what the connection is. Anyway, sorry.
But we have to take a break, and when we come back, my colleague Saurabh Gupta has spoken to Aditya Thackeray, one of the big winners, of course, today in Maharashtra. That's coming up next.